Hello, multitasking masters of malt mischief. That's a malt mention. And thank you to Lyndon Long for the mention. Thanks, Lyndon. Welcome, maltsters and whisky curious adventurers, to my channel, ralphie.com, where I review quality liquors. And frankly, I go into some detail because you can go into detail. That's what this channel is all about. If you're looking for a 3-minute overview, well, just skip to the end and get the malt mark. It's as simple as that. I usually review Scotch single malt whisky because generally it's what I buy. And here in Ralphie Review 893, I am reviewing another single malt Scotch whisky, 12-year-old Royal Brackla, a single malt Highland single malt from up near Inverness. And it's called Royal Brackla because the Brits just love their little royal associations. They just love it. It's nostalgic and it's kind of quaint, and it kind of helps sell whisky amongst other things. So here we have this Royal Brackla and this Royal Lochnagar. So now you know. Those are the two Royals. Glenuri Royal, there's another one. Yeah, so there's more than two. And I'm sure there'll be another one along before too long, because Royal is a great name for a distillery in any permutation. The thing is, before you can use the word royal, do you require consent from Her Majesty the Queen? These things need to be checked out. So what can I tell you about this? Well, let's start with a pour. It's a great cork. I shall hold the bottle up so as you can clearly see it in all its glory. It's natural colour and it's unchill filtered, and it's bottled at 46%. So I have to say, maltmates, we're heading in a good direction here. It doesn't say in the front of the label that it's natural colour and unchill filtered, but it does say on the back of the label, which is good. If it's in the back of the label, I can accept that because it's on the bottle. So many distilleries, maybe if they feel like it. It's a tough decision, you know. You're promoting your brand, you want people to associate it with quality, you know, superb quality, excellent quality. But you don't want to say it's been chill filtered and colour's been added, because people might misinterpret that. And I'm going to follow up on this very, very shortly in a very interesting way. So it says in the back, Highland single malt Scotch whisky, natural colour, unchill filtered, distilled and bottled in Scotland, the Royal Brackla Distillery in Codder, Nairn. There you go. Big golf club in Nairn. And it's Oloroso cask matured. In fact, I'll tell you right now, it is a bona fide sherry monster. Before I nose it and before I taste it, so as I don't forget, I want to just share a bit of information with you, which I have found on the back of the cardboard canister that the bottle came in. Lovely bottle, by the way, not too fancy, not too over the top, a good substantial cork, classy, and a great big label, so as you can read it more clearly. I quote, and this is in the back of the packaging. A natural approach, embrace the haze. Right. This brand is inviting you, maltmates, to embrace the haze. Let me explain. I quote, our whiskies are all released with age statements at 46% alcohol by volume and natural colour. When you add ice and or water to your whisky, you will see some hazing in the liquid. This is natural and a sign of quality. So here you have, for the record, maltmates, for the record. An official bottling stating that non-chill filtration and natural colour, I quote, and a sign of quality. The implication being, of course, when you have chill filtration and the addition of E150A, it is a sign of lesser quality. I think, and I speak in behalf of all of us maltmates, we can go along with that. We agree. What's interesting here is there's a change of attitude coming out there. And the attitude is coming from higher decision makers who are now understanding that the calibre of their product, whatever they're producing in the terms of Scotch single malt whisky, is always better received and better interpreted by customers when you see an age statement and clear indication written on the label and not hidden on the label as part of the tasting notes, tucked away so as you can easily miss it or get confused and think it is a tasting note. No, they're making it quite clear. Love be better in the front of the label, but it's in the back of the label. Non-chill filtered and natural colour. More and more whisky is selling with this style of presentation. I'm going to tell you why. Because we've just had over a year of global pandemic lockdown. And what's happened is people are sitting at home, and before they buy their whisky, because they can't really get to the supermarket so easily now, can't get to the bars, can't get to the pubs, can't get to the hotels, can't get to the functions, can't get to the location tastings and all the rest of it, the festivals. People are sitting at home, and those whisky customers who were swithering and undecided about the importance of natural colour and non-chill filtration, they've now done a bit more research because they've been stuck in the house and they're realising how important it is. I want to state for the record, blended whisky is different. Blended whisky is more aimed at a consumer market, and consumers are more simplistic and naive in their expectations. I'm not saying this as a judgment, I'm saying this as, frankly, an observation, and you know the context in which I speak. Enough of this now, let's go on to the nose. Raisins and a little bit of mocha and Oloroso and sherry and sherry and sherry. And when you have another wee sniff, oh, sherry and sherry. It is, without doubt, unequivocally, if you're a big Sherry Monster fan, you're going to love this. And of course, it's enhanced. It's an enhanced Sherry Monster because you've got, apart from the age statement to give you proper terms of reference, it's unchill filtered and natural colour. That colour is not E150A. It's coming from the cask. You may be asking, hey Ralphie, what if they do a sneaky and put the E150A into the cask before they fill it with new make spirit? You don't hear so much about that. Does it happen? In my opinion, covering my ass here, in my opinion, distillers can do that. However, in fairness, because of the prolonged seasoning, maturation and engagement between the cask content and the wood in the cask and the previous content, the effect of E150A is far less severe and more measured than if it's just put in as a oneer at the bottling plant an hour before the whisky actually gets bottled. It's my opinion. A bit more in the nose. Slight mint, chocolate. You've got a soft Highland whisky here. And it's got a drier kind of finish because that's the regional style you get from the Highlands. And that does nothing but complement the calibre of a good quality, fresh Oloroso cask maturation. And so far so good. Taste. Big Sherry Blast. The sherry, sweet and sour, but more sour than sweet, bitter in the finish. Touch of salt in the finish as well. It arrives, grows slightly, boom, disappears. Water. Where's my spoon? I've taken my spoon away to give it a good clean and to get the dust off it. So I'm going to use a plastic dropper. Ooh. And I'm going to put two plastic drops, which is the equivalent of 2 teaspoonfuls of water. That's 10 millilitres. Not centilitres, because sometimes I get confused, malt mates. It's millilitres. ml, not cl. And I'm putting quite a bit of water in because when you've got a very flavoursome cask combining with a flavoursome but subtle complex single malt, it gets quite concentrated, a bit like cordial, you know, diluting cordial. And to get access to the finer points, I mean, you can drink it neat, great, particularly if you like Sherry Blast, good quality, not a lot of sulphur going on in there, it's pretty clean. You wouldn't add any water to it, but I'm adding water to it because, frankly, it's the way I drink whiskey. It's the way I get access to the subtleties, the delicacies, and the drama over time of the interaction between the cask and the single malt. First taste, I'm not really getting any sign of that Royal Bracla signature, which you tend to find better delivered from independent bottlings at the moment, although my guess is whoever's in charge of bottling this whiskey now is going to restore the visibility of the Royal Bracla signature, which frankly is fantastic, engaging, singular and exciting. Right, back to this whiskey. Don't want to have too much excitement in one video. I've got to wrap this up shortly. Much softer in the nose. Much more soft and seasoned. You're getting the spices coming through. You're getting a little bit of mint and menthol coming through. You're getting more complexity in the nose. It's softer and subtle. It's not such a blast now. It's more of a breeze. Great sweet and sour arrival. Good sensations, definitive strong sensations. Dark note, not sweet. The sweetness has really been subdued here for these particular casks. You can taste the oak coming through, some fresh, sort of slightly charred toasted oak, along with the Oloroso. And the reason for that is because you've got a relatively delicate spirit here. Has the Oloroso casks, the sherry casks, really swamped the Bracla? Yeah, actually, yes. In an older whiskey, that would be a criticism. But at this age, at this price, for what you're getting, I'm not complaining. It's just a great fun Sherry Blast. Coming back to it again for another, give you a bit details on arrival, development, finish. Big in the sensations in the arrival. Development, some chocolate, mocha, a little bit of char and charcoal, sour lemon, bitter lemon, sour and bitter lemon, soft lemon, almost lemon and wood into the finish. The finish is slightly sake-like, acetic, but very competent. I have to advise you, from my experience, the longer you leave it in the glass, the more it kind of starts to grow and develop, and it will reach its bliss point, not in 12 minutes, but if you leave it 15 to 20 minutes. It's just the way this whiskey's working. So what malt mark am I going to give this, malt mates? Ooh, yeah, got to be done. Don't want to forget about that. That's an important part of these whiskey reviews. Now, where's my little my plastic? See, I'm recycling plastic. See, caring for the environment. As you'll notice, most of the bothy is recycled. The walls are recycled stone and old-fashioned paint. The walls haven't been painted in about 50 years. Recycled barrels, recycled bookcase. Got it from a scrap heap. And I bought the Dalek new, but I bought my little flask for that's new, for my pals. The boat was second hand. Actually, quite a lot, apart from the books, they're not second hand, but you can recycle paper quite easily. I'm getting distracted here. Let's find a mark for this. Right, 85 out of 100. That is my malt mark for Royal Brackla. Love the presentation. Great step forward. This would mark more if there was more of a signature of the distillery. The identity of the distillery was more visible. But these are good solid casks. Royal Brackla is heading in the right direction, and I recommend you keep an eye on this particular brand because later this year and in 2022, in my opinion, they're going to be bringing some interesting stuff to the market. Hey, I'm Ralphie, I'm sharing with you, so as you know, it's why you're watching. Thank you very much. I hope you'll join me again shortly for Ralphie Review 893 Extras, in which I commit complete and total blasphemy in response to an irresponsible video that mybrother.bigclive.com uploaded recently. And I'm shocked, but very, very curious. And I've got to find out for myself. Bye.